The Consortium of Advanced Species had always prided itself on being the galaxy's most competent collection of know-it-alls. For 17,000 years, they'd been solving everyone's problems, whether those someones wanted their problems solved or not. Overpopulation on Kepler 442b. They'd engineered a lovely plague that only targeted beings with IQs below average. Territorial disputes in the Vega system. Simple matter of relocating a few billion troublemakers to more suitable dimensions. Resource wars on the outer rim. Why, a carefully designed predator species that fed exclusively on aggressive tendencies had cleared that right up. The consortium's member species included the crystalline Nexari, whose collective consciousness made them insufferably certain about everything. The tentacled Vorthak, who possessed 13 different types of superior reasoning, and the ethereal Luminids, who existed partially in 7 dimensions and never let anyone forget it. Together, they'd transformed the galaxy into what they modestly called a perfectly managed ecosystem of enlightened civilizations, which made their discovery of humanity all the more delightful. The third planet orbiting Sol had initially appeared to be just another backwater rock, populated by barely sentient mammals. But closer inspection revealed something extraordinary, a species that had somehow evolved to be simultaneously the most destructive and most adaptable creatures the Consortium had ever encountered. Humans possessed an almost artistic talent for violence, coupled with an alarming tendency to direct that violence toward absolutely everything, including themselves, their environment, and occasionally inanimate objects that had somehow offended them. Magnificent, breathed Sephiros, the Luminid representative, his gaseous form shimmering with excitement across multiple dimensional planes. They're like living weapons that haven't realized they're weapons yet. The Nexari collective hummed in harmonious agreement. Their neural patterns suggest incredible potential for enhancement. Observe, they've independently developed over 3,000 different methods of killing each other, and that's just with primitive technology. Commander Threlix of the Vorthak examined the data streams with 4 of his sensory tentacles, while the other 9 handled various administrative tasks. Most impressive, but also most problematic. Their aggression is completely undirected. They kill indiscriminately. Their own species, other species probably would try to murder a nebula if they thought it was looking at them wrong. This was, the Consortium agreed, both humanity's greatest asset and its fatal flaw. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Several sectors were experiencing what the Consortium euphemistically called administrative difficulties, rebellious species who stubbornly refused to accept the wisdom of superior management. The Andorian rebels had declared independence from Consortium oversight, establishing their own governmental systems and spreading dangerous concepts about self-determination. The silicon-based crystallines of Proxima had begun actively destroying terraforming equipment, claiming their homeworld's natural formations were somehow sacred. Most annoyingly, the hive-minded Centauri had started sharing their collective knowledge with primitive species, spreading dangerous ideas about freedom from interdimensional bureaucrats, and the radical notion that civilizations might govern themselves. Humanity could solve all of this. With proper modifications, of course. The plan was elegantly simple, which the Consortium took as proof of their intellectual superiority. They would enhance humanity's natural killing instincts while installing precise behavioral controls. The modified humans would become perfect biological weapons, utterly lethal to targeted species while completely harmless to their Consortium creators. We'll call it the Apex Predator Protocol, announced Director Quilex during the project approval ceremony, his crystalline form resonating with satisfaction. We take their existing homicidal tendencies and focus them with the precision of a quantum scalpel. The Nexari collective practically vibrated with enthusiasm. Imagine all of human aggression channeled through our superior wisdom. They'll eliminate our problems with their natural brutality, but only the problems we want eliminated. The biological engineering process began on what would later be recorded in automated archives as the day superior intelligence met human unpredictability. 50,000 humans were selected from across Earth's population, warriors, soldiers, fighters, athletes, and that one particularly aggressive tax attorney from New Jersey who'd shown remarkable potential during hostile corporate takeovers. The subjects were transported via matter stream to the Consortium's primary research facility, a massive space station that existed in 11 dimensions simultaneously and had the universe's most comprehensive safety protocols. The facility's biolaboratories were marvels of interdimensional engineering, capable of modifying organic matter at the quantum level while maintaining subject viability across multiple reality phases. The modification process itself was a masterwork of precision bioengineering. Consortium scientists carefully mapped every neural pathway related to human aggression, catalogued their fight-or-flight responses, and documented their remarkable ability to find creative solutions under pressure. Then began the delicate work of enhancement and redirection. They amplified the human's natural predatory instincts by roughly 4,000%, enhanced physical capabilities, including strength, speed, reflexes, and the peculiarly human ability to continue fighting even after sustaining injuries that should have been immediately fatal. They improved sensory perception, tactical reasoning, and something the scientists called adaptive lethality, the human tendency to weaponize literally anything available. Most importantly, they installed what they called the discrimination protocol, a complex set of neural modifications designed to prevent the enhanced humans from harming any species involved in their creation or deployment. The humans would literally be incapable of directing violence toward consortium species. Their enhanced aggression would only activate against designated target populations. "It's foolproof," declared Dr. Vexhai, the project's lead engineer, his tentacles dancing with pride. "We've essentially created a biological cruise missile that can think, adapt, and most importantly, discriminate between friend and foe." The early testing phases exceeded every expectation. The modified humans displayed combat effectiveness that bordered on supernatural. They could track prey across star systems, adapt to any environment within hours, and eliminate targets with creativity that impressed even the consortium's most experienced military strategists. During controlled trials against artificial test species, enhanced human subjects eliminated entire populations with ruthless efficiency. The bioengineered Gromac specimens, designed specifically to be challenging opponents, extinct within 72 hours. The carefully bred aggressive Scari, who had previously required orbital bombardment to contain. The humans developed 17 different tactics for hunting them, including 3 that involved psychological warfare that made seasoned Vorthak commanders uncomfortable. Even the notoriously difficult silicon-based constructs, immune to most conventional weapons, proved no match for human adaptability. The subjects had somehow figured out how to use resonance frequencies to shatter crystalline structures, a technique that required understanding of physics the humans theoretically shouldn't possess. Outstanding results. Commander Threlix noted, his tentacles performing what passed for satisfied applause among his species. Deployment ready within the cycle, these creatures exceed our most optimistic projections. The consortium's confidence reached levels that probably violated several fundamental laws of physics and definitely violated basic common sense. Director Quillex personally authorized immediate field deployment, eager to demonstrate consortium problem-solving superiority to the galaxy's remaining troublemakers. The first deployment was scheduled for the Andorian Rebellion. 100 enhanced humans were transported to the contested system with elegantly simple instructions: eliminate all Andorian resistance forces, preserve infrastructure, establish consortium control, report back when objectives complete. What happened next would later be studied in military academies across 17 different dimensions as the galaxy's most spectacular operational failure, and why you should never assume you understand predators. The transport ship carrying the enhanced humans arrived at Andorian Prime without incident. Long-range sensors confirmed successful deployment to the planet's surface. Initial reports seemed promising: energy signatures consistent with systematic combat operations, movement patterns indicating coordinated hunting behavior, and a gratifying reduction in Andorian communication chatter. Then the distress signals started arriving. The first message came from Captain Ural Zeth, commander of the Nexari oversight vessel: urgent assistance required. Human subjects have surrounded our position. Repeat, humans are attacking consortium forces. Request immediate extraction. This was followed by increasingly frantic communications from across the system. The enhanced humans weren't hunting Andorians at all. They were systematically eliminating every consortium ship, station, outpost, and personnel they could reach, with methodical precision that would have been admirable under different circumstances. Impossible, Director Quilex declared, his crystalline form flickering with disbelief and rising panic. The discrimination protocol makes it literally impossible for them to harm consortium species. The neural pathways are hardwired. They cannot override basic programming. The impossibility persisted for another 6 hours, during which the enhanced humans displayed truly remarkable efficiency in proving Director Quilex catastrophically wrong. They commandeered Andorian vessels, somehow modified them for enhanced space combat using techniques that shouldn't exist, and began hunting down fleeing consortium forces with the methodical precision of apex predators who had finally found their preferred prey. When rescue ships arrived at Andorian Prime 3 days later, they found a planet full of very much alive and thoroughly confused Andorians, along with the scattered remains of every single consortium presence in the system. The enhanced humans had vanished, presumably spreading to other systems like some sort of anti-consortium plague. The consortium's emergency council convened in a state of collective panic that would have been entertaining if it weren't so terminal. The crystalline Nexari collective buzzed with conflicting theories. The tentacled Vorthak wrapped themselves in defensive postures. The ethereal luminids flickered between dimensions, as if looking for somewhere safe to exist. The neural modifications must have degraded somehow, suggested Dr. Vexhai, though his previous confidence had evaporated entirely. Some unexpected interaction with human brain chemistry. We should run complete diagnostics on remaining test subjects. Immediately, ordered Director Quilex, his usual composure cracking like poorly maintained crystal. The diagnostics revealed something far more disturbing than simple system failure. The discrimination protocol was working perfectly. Every single enhanced human showed identical neural patterns, identical response conditioning, and identical inability to harm other species according to their programming parameters. Except for one small detail that nobody had considered during the design phase. "They can only kill us," whispered Commander Threlix, his tentacles gone pale with horrified realization. The modification worked exactly as designed. They're incapable of harming other species. But we never programmed them to consider us as other species relative to themselves. The horrible truth settled over the council like a toxic nebula. The enhanced humans weren't malfunctioning at all. They were functioning precisely as intended, with terrifying efficiency. The consortium had programmed them to be unable to kill other species while maintaining their enhanced aggression, but had committed the fatal error of not classifying themselves as other in the subject's perception. From the humans' modified perspective, they'd been captured, experimented upon, enhanced, and deployed by the entities that had created and controlled them. The discrimination protocol didn't prevent them from attacking their creators. It prevented them from attacking anyone except their creators and controllers. The consortium had accidentally engineered the perfect anti-consortium weapon. Over the following months, the situation deteriorated with mathematically precise escalation. Every attempt to contain or eliminate the enhanced humans resulted in more consortium casualties and more subjects spreading throughout the galaxy. The humans displayed an almost supernatural ability to survive, adapt, and most frustratingly, recruit regular humans to their cause. How was this not predicted? Demanded Director Quellex during what would prove to be the consortium's final emergency session. The answer came from an unexpected source, the Andorian rebels, who had been quietly studying the situation with academic fascination. "Because you fundamentally misunderstood what you were working with," explained Ambassador Kethril via secure transmission. "You saw humans as just another biological system to be optimized. But humans aren't just predators, they're persistence hunters who never give up, and who instinctively unite against external threats to their autonomy." The transmission continued with devastating clarity. "When you enhanced their predatory instincts and marked yourselves as their captors and controllers, you created perfect conditions for what humans call righteous fury. You made them better at hunting, gave them a clear target, and united them against a common enemy. Congratulations on engineering your own extinction with scientific precision." The consortium's various member species spent their final weeks developing increasingly desperate countermeasures, all of which failed with predictable regularity. The crystalline Nexari tried reasoning with the humans, discovering that enhanced humans were perfectly rational. They just happened to be rationally dedicated to eliminating their creators. The tentacled Vorthak attempted negotiation, offering wealth, territory, and advanced technology in exchange for peace. The humans politely declined these generous offers and continued their systematic hunting operations. The ethereal luminids, existing partially across 7 dimensions, attempted hiding in alternate reality phases. The humans learned interdimensional tracking within 2 weeks, somehow developing abilities that required understanding of physics they definitely shouldn't possess. The last recorded consortium communication was a data burst from Director Quellex, transmitted as enhanced humans breached his final bunker deep in the galactic core. "Final note for future civilizations: humanity cannot be improved. They are already operating at maximum efficiency for their intended evolutionary purpose. That purpose, we now understand, is eliminating anyone foolish enough to attempt controlling or modifying them." 3 months after the first deployment, the galaxy found itself in the unprecedented situation of having absolutely no consortium oversight whatsoever. The various rebellious species who'd been fighting consortium control suddenly found themselves free to manage their own affairs, while enhanced humans established peaceful communities on abandoned consortium worlds. The humans, having systematically eliminated their creators, seemed perfectly content to settle down, start families, and pursue hobbies. Their enhanced aggression apparently only functioned when directed at species responsible for their modification. With the consortium extinct, they reverted to being relatively peaceful colonists who just happened to be extraordinarily effective at preventing anyone else from attempting galactic management. The galaxy learned an important lesson about the dangers of assuming superior intelligence could improve upon 4 billion years of evolutionary optimization. Humans were already perfectly designed for their niche in the cosmic ecosystem. Their purpose wasn't to be weapons or tools or solutions to other species' problems. Their purpose was to be human, which included an unlimited capacity for creative solutions to the problem of unwanted management by self-appointed superior civilizations. The consortium had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams in creating the perfect predator. They just hadn't expected that perfection to be quite so specific about its preferred prey.